Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today I'm going to be going over quickly what new players who are coming in for the Overlord collab should be focusing on as, beginning their grind to the top, or at least further on in the game. So, you've started the game, you've pulled Ainz, you've pulled Rimuru, maybe, I don't know, depending on how lucky you are. And now you're like, what the fuck do I do? Because there's a lot of shit in here. Well, it's going to be very simple. You're going to do all the story quests that you can. We go up to chapter 24. You're going to go to chapter, probably 10 or something like that. And this will get you a lot of materials. It'll get you a lot of rewards. So the beginner stages gets a lot of gold. You get some free-to-play protectors and so forth. You get some gear grinding materials. This is what you should be focusing on to start leveling up your characters alongside the level up quest, because this is where you get magicules, which will be able to level up your characters. And the first time clears gets you quite a bit. So in order to actually level them up, you will need some of those magicules, of which I've got 16 million, so I'm good, but new players will not have 16 million of those. So the level up quest is going to be your friend for a lot of units, because everybody needs magicules to level up. So magicules and story quest, and then once you get a little bit into that, once your character's a little bit higher leveled, you want to go into the Overlord campaign, actually, and do all the story quests that are in here. It gets you a lot of free ore, some crystals, and it allows you to work closer to getting the free-to-play protector Gabiru, who's gonna, be a decent protector for these stages here because they're all built for the specific team, and Gabiru will help you do additional damage, and that's just gonna make life a lot easier for you as a newer player. The gear, I would worry about that maybe a little bit further down the line because you should get some free gear here and there for some missions, but then once you can, you should start forging up, the very, very basic levels of books and stuff and armor, the iron plates, and this will help you, clear some of the harder difficulty content that you'll experience very, very early in game when your units aren't quite high enough, they're not quite leveled up enough. So magicules are going to be important. The next thing that's going to be important in the training tab is going to be the ability release quest. This is where you get these stupid little magic rocks that you use. If you play Dokkan, it's kind of like the hidden potential. So ability release, this gives you just extra free stats, but it costs, the different colored stones. This is how you're going to enhance your characters even further. So leveling them up, getting them decent gear, beginner gear at minimum, and then getting their abilities released will help you get a lot of stats, because there's 4 boards to it. 5 is hidden behind a dupe wall. But that's what people should be focusing on as newer players, is getting these new Ainz and Rimuru and free-to-play Narble Gamma leveled up, getting them with basic gear, going through the beginner story quests and the beginner main Overlord campaigns. Do the character introduction quest, you get the free dupe of Ainz. Do the bingo board as best you can to get the free dupe of Rimuru. It'll be under the second anniversary tab. It'll be the first board. It'll have a few missions. Some of them you won't be able to complete immediately, but some of them you can try and get out of the way. They're not overly difficult. And then, just make sure to keep leveling up your units. Use whatever free summons the game gives you and try and add units to the team. It's okay if you can't make a full, 5-person team with 5 supports. You've done a few summons, so you've got probably a bunch of 3 stars. When you're building the team, just put, the same type units underneath it. I would not focus on leveling up the support units. I would focus on leveling up your mainliners. So Ainz, Narble Gamma, Rimuru, or if you don't have Rimuru, the Gabiru. I would focus on leveling those people up first, and then once you have a full team set up and you're looking pretty good, then start really worrying about the support unit levels and such things like that. Because it's more important for your mainline units to have stats than your support units to have stats, because they give more than they do. So that's a very, very basic intro. There are a whole number of facets to this game that I obviously have not covered. The build nation obviously is going to time gate you a lot in the beginning, because you have to build your town, and it ain't going to look like this when you start out. So You've got to build up your Tempest office. That will allow you to get more population. More population means you can do more things, and you can build more places. So you will be time gated heavily by building your central office and building up this area to a point where you can access a lot of the quests. But that's really, the most basic of things to do is getting very basic gear for your characters, leveling them up, doing beginner story, doing some training quests, and then really focusing on the Overlord event. Don't worry about this one for now. Don't worry about the Corridor of Awakening. Don't worry about like this or this or this or this for now. Crucible can come a little bit later down the line once your characters actually have good gear. Conquest is going to be your early game wall to make even better gear. But as a brand new player, you're not going to be able to clear these quests quite yet. You're going to need a little bit more oomph before you can clear some of the conquest stages. But, I mean, that's a very brief overview. Hopefully it helped you out. Let me know if you have any other questions. I have a Discord in the video description where we have a lot of helpers that can help new players out. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.